Hey there everyone, it's Val and welcome back to today's end of the day tour for Tolkiencraft II, The Labors of Valentine. And as you can tell, Whiskers has learned how to wander. I'm a little worried he might, wander outside and get lost, but hopefully he won't wander too far. What have I been doing today? Well, I've been doing a lot. Not yesterday, but since the last stream I did do a little bit of stuff off camera, which I will show you. But first, I will show you what I've been working on today. And I think the first thing I need to do is turn this off so I can actually walk instead of fly everywhere. I am not a fairy. Ta-da! We have the front gate mostly done. Thank you very much. Yes, we have it set up so that it uses a player detector to detect that somebody's nearby and opens the gate and shuts it. Now this is using the Tinker's Mechwork drawbridge, and it's using the basic one. There are actually 3 varieties. This one will do up to 15 blocks, which is more than sufficient for our needs. The advanced drawbridge, the recipe, that's the recipe for this one, which is pretty basic. A blank cast you make just by, well, let's go down here. Oh dear, I think I ended up in the wall. Alright. So, tables here with nothing in them. Just turn on your faucet and that will make you a blank cast. So it's pretty easy to make. Oops, this. And of course a dispenser, which is also pretty easy to make. The advanced drawbridge, the wiki didn't say specifically, but I'm guessing when I say that it also only goes to 15 blocks. But it does let you put different items in. So you could have like an obsidian block followed by a bar, followed by a diamond block, followed by a piece of wool. If you feel like doing that sort of thing. Well, I don't really need to do that. So this one is using the basic ones. And as you can see, you can actually, if I can see, there we are. You can actually disguise them by putting in a block, which is lovely because you can make it look like anything you like, and then you put in the number of, in this case, bars I need to reach the bottom, which is it actually 5 or did I change it and now it's 4? 1, 2, 3. Oh, actually it only needs 3. 4. So I can actually take one of those out. So let me just fix those. I had this originally a little taller, and I changed it, which means you only need, oh, give me that back. You only need 3. You also only need, okay, would you guys quit jumping around? You're annoying me. Alright, let's make sure that that's, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Right, so now, where is it? There it is. You also set the direction, so you can have them go, well, pretty much any direction you want them to go. Because when you put them in place, you can actually orientate them. So for example, I have some of the more advanced ones here, which I'll describe in a moment. So you could have them going this way, which we will at one point, because there is going to be a drawbridge, although not right there. And if you want it to point down, you just have to point to the upper part of a block to get it going down that way. So yes, you can have them go any direction, which is wonderful. I did try to use the gates from, as my mind goes blank on me, thank you very much, mind. You are being a pain. Over here. This thing. Yes, Ancient Warfare. That's what but unfortunately, there's a few disadvantages. First thing is you cannot specify the block that you want. So you have to go with the default iron bar look. It also has cobblestone look around the edges of it, so you have to kind of hide that, but you can only hide it so far because you can't put anything actually where the bars are going to shut, which is not good. And the other issue that is the reason that I ended up not using it, despite having set up this originally so that it would work with it, is that it requires a pulse. And I'll show you what I mean. Oh, by the way, there's a mushroom farm here that I filled in all walls and off camera, and there's a mushroom farm. Anyway, up. Right, I did leave, of course, crawl space everywhere that there's wiring. So you can see the wiring here, and this is the... Is that the... Yes, that is the actual player detector that we're using, and it's also camouflaged, which is awesome. Okay, anyway, what I'm trying to talk about here. Now, using a player detector, it has a state of either on or off, depending on whether it's detecting a player. And the Ancient Warfare gates require a pulse. So when you go within the range of the player detector, when the signal came through, it would open the gate, and that was fine. But when you went out of the range of the player detector and it turned off, it did not get a pulse, and therefore the gate would never close. So then I messed around with trying to use 2 player detectors, and, well, I won't go into the details, just suffice it to say that I ended up deciding that that was not going to work the way I wanted it to, and we were not going to use the Ancient Warfare gate like I had hoped. But then I looked into the drawbridges, and I'm actually happy that I ended up going to it because I can camouflage them and it looks much nicer, as well as working the way that I wanted it to, because I didn't want this gate opening and closing unless you were across this threshold, and that's what it's doing, so that's perfect. Right, so I never finished talking about the extended drawbridge. The extended drawbridge lets you put... Actually, I haven't even tried this. Let's try this. A stack? Can I put more than a stack in here? No, you can't. Okay, so it's 1 stack. You can go up to 64, which is sufficient for my other project that I was working on today. And if I get the time, I will do some of it off camera, but there's a lot to it. So undoubtedly, there will be at least 1 or 2 more streams in which I will be working on the gate. The gate 2 are still not yet built. Fabulous. I guess you could call it a pier. Dock, weir, whatever. I guess it's a dock, really, because the ships come in and dock. But anyway, I've only put a half a stack in here of each of these, and putting in a full stack actually should be more than sufficient to go down into the water, because we want it down, and I believe the word is draft, below the draft of the ships, so that they don't get running aground on it, because there is going to be underneath here actual permanent grating that never goes up and down, but then it's going to meet up with this gate that does in fact go up and down. And let me just flip the switch, which is not here. Whoops. Help! Right, here's the switch. Isn't that awesome? So it's not quite finished yet. I'll turn it back on so that it'll come back down, and you can see the wiring going up through there. I do have to go around and add in the corners. So I've done the corner right here so you can see, so that it looks like a continuous sheet. If you don't do that, then you're going to get gaps like this, and, well, I don't like that, so it will be look like a full gate when it's finished. So, yeah, that's what I've been working on. And now what I'm going to have to do is do the same thing over here, which is going to be fun, replicating the archway on the other side, as well as, well, basically build the rest of the dock area. Greater Raider has promised me a schematic so that I can get a copy of one of the ships in Draconis, and we're going to plink it right down here. Hopefully we can orientate it the correct direction, because if we can't, we're kind of hooped, but we'll see how that goes. I've never used a schematic before, so we'll have fun figuring that out, but he is going to do that for me. And I would also like to mention the fact that the extended drawbridges that I have made so far and will be making for the other side there would not have been possible today without the kind gift from BVB, who is also on the server. She had been doing a project in the Nether, and so she had mined up a bunch of ardite and cobalt. And yes, this is an expensive recipe. It requires 3 ardite, or 3 cobalt, sorry, and 3 ardite to make the extended drawbridge. And yeah, I need 39 for this side. I have to put in these last 8. That's for the missing gaps there. And so we're going to need 39 for this side as well. And it would not have been possible without her kind gift of the cobalt and the ardite that I needed, because I have never mined the Nether here, because I've never needed large quantities of cobalt and ardite, or netherrack, or things that come from the Nether. So all my mining had been done in the deep dark. So thank you again, BVB. This gate would not have been possible without you. Alright, well, I do have one more thing to show you. And it was something, I can't remember if I mentioned it in the end of the day tour or not. I also finished up I think I had 3 rain spouts left to finish, and I finished those all up, so all the rain spouts are all hooked up and function properly when it rains. But the thing that I wasn't sure if I mentioned is that I was thinking about adding a delay to the waterfall, because, as you know, there's a filtration system in here to clean up the water before it gets sent down to the pond and the stream. And I was talking about the fact that the water should take some time to percolate through the filtration system before you see it start to come out of the waterfall. And then, of course, once it stops raining, there should still be water in here continuing to filter through, so it should be a delay when it starts raining, and then it should happen. And in fact, I have done that. So, you'll notice that the waterfall still has not started. Yet, if we go around and look, we can see that the various rain spouts down there, they're all functioning now that it's raining. Oh, come on. Load, please. I'm just going around and showing them all because, like I said, there was a couple that I hadn't. There's actually one hidden down there that will become exposed, and it's all set up, but it'll become exposed once I dig the trench for the moat. But we can't see it just yet. Right. And then, of course, that double waterfall there. So the delay that I've set up is about 75 seconds, roughly. And that's why I did a little tour showing you around the edge there, because now we just have to wait for the waterfall to start to prove it works. Which means I need to talk about something. Let's see. While we're waiting for that waterfall, I thought I'd show you the... Oh, here it comes. There's the waterfall. Awesome. So, I'll still show you this. I have got, for all my patrons, all their statues have been completed. And some of them are doing things, like the J here is fishing. And Sprawn is building, judging from the block in her hands. And Robert is saying, "Get off my lawn!" That's his lawn right there, right around him, so don't step on that lawn. That's a diamond sword, it hurt. Alright, so I'm going to show you what I ended up using. There's probably a more compact way to do this, but I'm still learning how to use the various Project Red integration things. And I chose to use the repeater. Each one has eight slots, so you can go from 1 to 8 with the ticks, and I set them all to maximum, which is about 12 seconds each, roughly. And so I put a little sign here to explain what is going on here in case in the future somebody digs in here and it doesn't know what this is all doing. Oh, and Robert just put a smiley in the chat, so he likes the get off the lawn sword. Excellent. Alright. Oops. So, if I then... Oops. Turn off the rainfall, we can go around and see that the rain spouts are all stopping. You can see the upper one's already stopped. And you can see that the lower one has stopped, and of course all the others have all stopped. I won't go around the whole thing again. And the waterfall is still going, and it will keep going for about 74 seconds after the end of the rainfall. So I'm quite happy with that. I think it adds a little bit of realism to it. And doesn't seem to slow anything down, so all my little touches, I hope I don't end up lagging the place out because of all the little things that I've been adding. But yeah, so I guess I shall be working on these some more. I will be disguising them. As you can see, I did disguise the center one. And this obviously has to be made pretty, but I won't be doing that until after I've copied the shape on the other side. And then I will do the prettification on it to make it look a little prettier, because we'll still have to decorate the walls as well, and the prettification will go along with that. Right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this, what turned out to be a little bit long end of the day tour. I know I enjoyed showing you all the progress that's been made. I can see it coming together, can't you? So you guys, have a great night or day whenever you're watching this, and I hope to see you in the stream sometime. Y'all take care now. Bye!